the anti-alternate shark harmonic pattern indicator, which is offered for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on the chart. Traders can also read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file, and by dragging the file onto the chart, we run the indicator. Once the indicator is run on the chart, it begins to detect and draw the anti-alternate shark harmonic pattern on the price chart. Traders who are looking to identify this pattern on the chart can use the anti-alternate shark harmonic pattern indicator to detect harmonic patterns. And by using the point of view in the harmonic pattern, they can identify the probable price reversal zone, or the PRZ, potential reversal zone, and based on that enter a buy or sell trade in the market. In the settings section under the Input tab, there are options available to us. In the first part, we can set the minimum wavelength of the harmonic pattern, which is based on the zigzag indicator. The zigzag indicator has 3 parameters, and here we can adjust the first parameter of the zigzag indicator, while the other 2 parameters with periods of 3 and 3 are hard-coded into the calculations. In the next section, we can specify the number of candles to be checked and analyzed for identifying the conditions of the harmonic pattern. By default, it is set to 100 candles, meaning that from point D, 100 candles are examined backward. To identify point C, from C, 100 candles are examined backward. To identify point B, from B, 100 candles are examined backward. To identify point A, and from A to X, and finally the harmonic pattern is drawn for us. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of the harmonic pattern lines. In the next section, using the break pivot option, we can enable or disable this feature. If the break pivot option is enabled, when the pivots of the harmonic pattern are broken, the pattern will not become invalid for us and will remain valid. This means that from the point where the pivots have formed for us, if a breakout occurs, like in this section, where with the price moving upward and the identification of waves A and B, we see that the price has moved upward in this area and has broken point A to the upside. Normally, this pattern is not identified for us, but if we set this option to true, the breakouts of the harmonic pattern pivots will be taken into account. If we set this option to false, in the section below, we can specify the distance between the harmonic pattern pivot and the breakout pivot. That is, how much of a breakout should occur from point A for it to be considered valid for us, and when it exceeds that amount, the pattern will be considered invalid and will not be displayed. By default, this is set to 100 pips. Let's see, if we set the break pivot mode to false and set the period to 100 pips, this pattern will not be displayed for us. In the next section, we can set the shift status, which is set to 2 by default. This means that after identifying point D, it moves forward by 2 candles and then examines the harmonic pattern. If I set this option to 0, as soon as the D point candle closes, it will check the harmonic pattern and display it for us if it is formed. In the next 2 sections, we can enable or disable the display of bullish and bearish harmonic patterns. In the next section, we can choose the drawing style of the harmonic pattern from among 5 options: solid, dash, dot, and dash, dot. In the next section, we can change the thickness of the harmonic pattern lines to our desired size, which is set to 1 by default. If we set this number higher than 1, the indicator will automatically switch the drawing style to solid. And in the final section, we can change the color of the bearish harmonic pattern, the color of the bullish harmonic pattern, and the color of the harmonic pattern labels to any color we like. Just be sure to note that in the MetaTrader 5 platform, the first two options are different for us, and the second option is based on pivot calculation. That means in the MetaTrader 4 platform, this section contains 100 candles. So from point D, it looks back over the previous 100 candles, searching for Fibonacci ratios and displaying the points C, B, A, and X. Whereas in the MetaTrader 5 platform, it is based on pivots. That is, if I set the number to 10 here, from point D, it looks back over 10 pivots to identify point C, and from C, it checks 10 pivots back. To identify point B, it goes from B to A, and from A, it searches for X. The next point you must definitely pay attention to is the values you set in the first and second options. The larger the values you enter, the more long-term trend patterns will be identified. This means that larger patterns will be drawn for us, and the smaller the values you set in this section, the more short-term trend patterns will be identified, and relatively smaller patterns will be displayed. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. I'd be glad if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.